Hello, everybody. All right. Can everybody see and hear me okay? Just let me know, yes or no, before we can make a start and get down to business. Okay, yes, you can. Brilliant. Okay. Everything fine. Yeah. Cool. Hey, John, hope you're well, buddy. Right. Right. Okay, now before we go into everything, guys, this is recording on my side as well. So for anybody that misses it or comes into this at any point later, don't panic, the upload will be there. I've got more people coming on and on. I don't want to All right, let's make a start. And as people coming on, I'm sure that I'll need to overlap and go back on myself anyway, as we do. Okay, so everybody, thank you for coming. All right, guys, this is going to be a Q&A, so I'm here literally to answer all of the questions as we are. I'm not going to do a big overview type thing and that as well, because I'm going to obviously go through the strategy, and I'm sure that a lot of the questions are going to be in relation to sort of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it. So I'm not going to go over it all to start off with, because I know for a fact that we will cover it through the questions anyway, and anything that I don't cover in the questions, obviously I will cover and make sure that we get that sorted too. So thank you everybody for coming on. We've put out a lot of updates, especially through Telegram, regarding what we're doing, the structure of everything, the marketing structure moving forward, the plans there, I froze there for a sec. Yeah, the marketing structure moving forward, how we're going to get projects rolling onto the blockchain, the IEOs obviously going live, that's all linked together, the various different projects and that are ongoing at the minute, the exchange design, the marketing directly on the exchange as well, the bots, the copy bots, all of the little different functions, market price, orders, etc. Leverage trading. We've made the announcements about all of these things. We start to obviously give the time frames on everything as well, and the roadmap really for when each part of it should be fully developed and being released. So yeah, guys, I'm just going to open up the floor. You ask me all of the questions, anything that you're unsure of what we've covered, please ask me. I can guarantee that if you are unsure of it, obviously there's only a limited amount of people that are able to make a meeting at any given time. So yeah, anything that you ask, I'm sure that somebody else who may be not even here today is definitely wondering and wanting to know themselves as well. So I will open up the floor, guys. Ask me your questions. Here we've got the chat group there on the side, or you will also see that there is a Q&A tab. You can use either, or I will pick them up in both. Ask me your questions about everything that we're doing, all of the announcements, anything that you're unsure about, then ask me, and that's exactly what I'm here for today. John Mattia. John Mattia, hope you're doing great. A question from Danny. How many developers have you got working at any one time? And how many developers have you got access to should you need them? Right. How many have we got at any one time working? So I'm not going to, if I say on a daily basis, probably about every day there'd be at least 12 to 14 developers that would be doing certain tasks during the day. So yeah, they are, whether they are doing maintenance, whether they're doing server maintenance, whether they're doing design work for something, whether that's a PHP developer, Java developers, whether they're developing something for the exchange or something for one of the other websites, probably about 14 at any given time that are actively working. And how many developers have we got access to? Well, over the last couple of years, I have built some very, very, very strong relationships with three and a half, let's say. The reason I say a half is because it's a smaller one than the others. But technology companies, IT companies, of which that we are able to take staff from back and forth as we wish. I've done a number of things with them. I know how they work, very, very trusted. On the basis of that, and from there as well, quite happy that we can actually take staff from there and we can employ them on a full-time basis with ourselves as well. 2,500, 3,000 developers available that we'd be able to take. And that would be as obviously a constant, especially with the IEOs probably that are launching. With the IEOs that are going to be launching, when they finish, or not even when they finish, when they get partially through, each one is going to need developers specifically for that project. Therefore, once that project obviously is building, we know it's building capitals, we know it's building positive cash flow. We give it the initial injection of developers that it needs to obviously get the website up. And then as that website obviously goes further along and it starts building towards the end stages, then it's able to have its own maintenance team, obviously from us, but that are doing the maintenance through there as well. I can tell you that one of the biggest assets online, and I would say this is, I would say testament to this, because I found out the easy ways and the hard ways, the good ways and the bad. When it comes to developers, there is finding trustworthy developers. So many people have ideas of things that they can do online, but finding good, trusty developers that you can actually trust, they can be few and far between. So the connections that we have for all of the developers there, that I can tell you they work in very, very safe environments. And obviously, even in our offices, there's monitorization and everything. Yeah, they work. To be able to provide that to people is a massive, massive bonus. There are people that have obviously have paid for projects to be built, and then the developers, let's just say, haven't done so. Can you explain how IPX coins are going to work in the DeFi project, please? I will, but I'll touch on that quite briefly, because I think, to be honest, I would probably need about an hour to an hour and a half to go through and cover everything. But I will give an easy understanding way that should paint you the overall picture. So you have Maker and DAI. You're probably already familiar with Maker and DAI. You can take collateral loans using, on there you can take collateral loans. The people that are lending essentially make some interest off of it. Maker is what's called the governance token. That means that when it's profitable, obviously all of that profit's going across into the Maker system as well. Maker also backs up the collateral system as well. The loans are very, very, very similar to Nexo in the way that they work, in the sense that, and I'm trying to use these different projects to, because OPX is a mixture of all these projects put into one. So I'm trying to take those projects so that you can understand and see kind of how it works. So collateral loans allow you basically to be able to take a loan against your crypto without needing to sell your crypto. That's the basic fundamentals of it. Now, as the crypto that you have put as collateral, as the price of that rises, you are able to either borrow more money, or you can you'll be able to pay your actual initial loan off quicker. If it goes down, then you need to add more to actually hit that level. So let's say, for example, very, very simply, if you're taking a loan over a year, for example, let's say that give or take, you've got to pay back, say, 10% per month. If after 2 months the market drops by 20%, that's okay, because your collateral then is still in line with the amount owed. Okay. If it goes below that, you will need to add more and it's in a similar type of way. I would compare it with leverage in that aspect, margin. Okay, so the DeFi aspect on it is very, very simple. You'll be able to lend, you'll be able to borrow in a decentralized way where everything is fully transparent. That's the basic fundamentals of DeFi anyway. This project, though, has some extras, let's say. So there's massive projects like Uniswap. Uniswap, for example, is a swapping platform. Now, there's a great opportunity out there at the minute for what we are doing by any means, because I was speaking to somebody this morning, or I had a message from somebody regarding somebody else, and they had done a transaction on Uniswap, and it had cost something like, for a $200 swap, it had cost them something like $75 in fees because of the Ethereum network fees. Now, so there is room for maneuver for trying to pull, obviously, that over to ERK, where the fees, as we know, are very, very low. So it will have its own version of Uniswap. Perhaps more powerful than those, though, it has the ability, it will have a dApp that will be ready for the launch, where anybody that wants to run a DeFi project, they will automatically be able to come and create it over the top. Using that dApp, they will be able to create their own DeFi project into and over the top of, should we say, the IPX system that will be being put in place. Automatically, then they're able to use the swapping function so that people can swap those tokens to and forth. Not an exchange, but similar, I guess. And again, the governance of the overall structure there is run by IPX. So IPX users are able to have voting shares and everything like that as well, where you actually get a say in the project. Okay, you get a say directly in everything that happens. So in that aspect, I think that that's really, really strong. In terms of the value of the value of IPX, I think, obviously comes in two manners as well. There's the DeFi, okay, which is the utility purpose of it, which, as we know, we've seen DeFi coins go absolutely, or DeFi tokens go absolutely crazy. Okay, so we know what the utility aspect of that is. IPX on top of that also has where it can be built over, okay, which in basically it will create extra demand on top of that. And then additionally to that as well, IPX has its own buyback and burn model as well. Remember, ImpulseX does share half of the exchange, among other things too. So it is a very, very strong position as a DeFi project with a buyback and burn, with a decreasing supply. Okay, we know what obviously the decreasing supply does, and what the nature of that is. So when we mix that with something like the utility purpose of the DeFi project, yeah, I think it's going to be a mega strong project. How it works to increase the value of ERK. ERK can be used as collateral. So it takes lots and lots of ERK off of the market because people using ERK as collateral, Also, obviously, all of the transaction fees that happen within it, they need to have ERK for gas as well. Are there still 66 million ERK in circulating as shown at CoinMarketCap, or is it already less through buyback? No, technically it is, but we are yet to burn coins. When we do burn from this most recent buybacks, then we will, and obviously the ongoing buybacks as well, then the circulation then will decrease. Okay, come on, keep hitting me with those questions. What part of everything, like, is there any parts that anybody doesn't understand? Is there any parts of what we're doing that either isn't understood or even just have an opinion on? There's another project with the symbol dollar IPX. Is there a problem with the exchanges on CSE? No, there's not. There is another project, but from my understanding, it was extremely low and barely even tracked. So no, it's of no premises at all. What are you doing to increase the buying of IPX during the IEO? Any marketing? Hang on a minute, there's a couple of questions I think I missed before there. Let me come back to that. When moon? Hard joke. It will moon soon with all this bullish news. Yeah. What are you doing to increase the buying of IPX during the IEO? Any marketing? Yes. So the main. So right, guys, keep asking all of your questions. I'm going to go through. I'm going to explain everything in a different context, and then we'll see where the questions are. Right. So for the very beginning, right. So obviously, I understand that some people, for whatever reason, may have not seen what our planned proposals are, our strategies moving forward, and what it is that we are doing across the entire board. I am now going to cover absolutely every single aspect of that. I am very sorry if you have already heard this all before, but I am going to cover it all, as clearly some haven't. Okay, so starting off with IEOs, we're going to have IEOs. IEO is an initial exchange offering. Okay, it means it is essentially like a token sale on the exchange. Okay. It's a much easier, much more streamlined process. It's the exchange, obviously, its sole purpose is for depositing and withdrawals of wallets and for trading in the middle. Okay, so all of these IEOs coming through, obviously, they're going to be able to list on Eureka X on completion. The IEO being held inside Eureka X is to raise X amount of money across it, and it will run across X amount of stages. There will be different based on the different IEOs. We have lots of people wanting to already come to us, and so far we have 7, possibly even 8 projects confirmed. Okay, so as these projects come through and money is raised, okay, each one of these projects is raising capital basically. That behind the scenes by us is used for trading. Okay, so the build trades on that on very safe trading aspects. He then, or as safe as possible, should I say. He then trades, average when he's doing safe trading is about 7% per month. I say when he's doing safe trading. When he's being ultra cautious, it's about 7% per month. Okay, so all of that capital that's coming in, Okay, it's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in, it's building up that middle pot. Okay, then that is used for trading. The profits from the trading, which is positive cash flow from day one, is used for marketing. The marketing campaign, so that's going to be going live on your news channels. It's going to be all over, it'll be on social media campaigns here, there, and everywhere, your YouTube, everything like that. Okay, maybe even crypto influencers, etc., too. We have found some pretty good. We have found some pretty good companies that we know have very good links with crypto influencers, of which are actually legitimate, okay, which is incredibly hard to come by. So yes, moving forward, marketing budget done for that. Okay, that drives lots of people to Eureka X. All of those people that are joining in and buying into the IEOs, obviously then the fund grows, the fund grows, the fund grows, the fund goes. It means that the communities of each one of these IEOs grow and grow and grow and grow as well. Okay, mainly as well, not mainly, sorry. One of the strongest points, shall I say, about that, all of that paid marketing going is driving traffic into Eureka X. Eureka X grows, Eureka X grows, Eureka X grows, bigger community, bigger community, bigger community. The bigger the community, the more that it's able to raise, the more and the quicker it's able to raise it. For example, if you automatically know straight away that you have a community of 15,000 people that are actually purchasing it into startups, as I'm going to call them, okay, because vast majority of them will be startups. Obviously, it's ground floor is the best place to get in, especially with token sales. So for people that are interested in that case, you've got 15, 20,000 people on the platform. You're going to launch a token sale, which will be for $1, $2, $3 million. It's going to be able to fulfill very, very quickly. Okay. The marketing, though, constantly ongoing. Okay. Every month, marketing coming off of that positive cash flow. Right. So, yes, for marketing, to answer the question in short, yes, marketing, there's going to be a lot of marketing driving a lot of people to Eureka X. Eureka X is basically this very, very, very center of the universe at the minute, okay? Everything else is growing out and around Eureka X at the same time. All of those projects are sending people in directly from their own marketing. At the same time, Eureka X obviously is getting people coming across from users actually using their affiliate links, guys, because the referral structure inside the IEOs is generally 5 levels. So if somebody goes and shares their links for somebody to come and buy, let's say, for example, someone comes to buy IPX, and that's what I'm promoting, you come along, you join in and you buy IPX. If, however, in a few days' time, you wish to buy social token, you buy social token. I get commissions as well. If then you go and do a trade on the exchange, I get commissions from the trading fees as well. If you then want to buy the box, obviously we'll talk about shortly as well, I get commission again. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It is worthwhile for promoting. Okay, if you have thousands of people, for 5 levels deep, you can build a very, very, very big team. Okay, now remember the IEOs, for example, they are 10% for each level, 5 levels deep. Okay, so there's a lot there to be done. Right, now that's the primary basis. The next step, when they finish their IEOs, okay, positive cash flow. Remember, from that positive cash flow, within the first, the last few weeks of the last probably 3 weeks of the IEO and the first 4 weeks afterwards, okay, so within that first month, exchange listings on KuCoin, on Bittrex, on MCGOX, or MXGOX, sorry, on some smaller exchanges, let's say like your Probits, and in and around that region. Hit BTC, that's another one. Hit BTC automatically means that Changely can be plugged into them as well. Okay, so straight away from within that first month, you're talking about 3 major exchanges, probably another, 4 major exchanges, 3 medium exchanges, let's say, and lots of small ones. Then will generally just list it anyway. Okay, Following on from that, another 5 weeks estimated of trading profit, OKX. From that point forward, so let's say IPX, in fact, no, let's use social token as a good example of this, or IPX, it doesn't really matter. They're both raising, they will both go until they've raised $1.6 million. That $1.6 million to trading profit after that, after it has done that little stint, after it's done that first 6-7 weeks into the exchange world, it is listed at that point on 3 or 4 medium exchanges, 4 major exchanges, and the godfather, OKX, I would say, is one of the godfathers. Okay, trading liquidity will be high. There will be lots and lots of buyers. There will be lots and lots of sellers. Volume will be real. Okay, now let's say at that point, this community is 30,000 people, okay, which is by no means and not doable, okay. Those 30,000 people, each, sorry, actually, I'm going to go across. Positive cash flow still from that day, okay, so ongoing. That 100 odd, that 1.6 million at 7%, let's say that's just over, it's about $110,000. That $110,000 positive cash flow each month is used for marketing that platform. So let's say, for example, social token, $110,000 a month going to advertise a social media platform. Okay, it will spread extremely fast. It builds a very big community very fast. We can then advertise the IEOs and even the RK and even the exchange and everything else, all of the other projects on there too. Okay, but we'll come to that and how that everything fits in very shortly. Okay, so now we finished the IEO. It's on the, let's say, 8-9 exchanges, of which are 4 major, 1 godfather, and a few mediums. And of course, Eureka as well, of which by that point will be much higher and will be on CoinMarketCap too. That community, we said 30,000 people. That is 30,000 people that all need to have, even if it's just a small bit, they all need to have ERK. Therefore, building volume to ERK. Whenever they want to move their tokens around, or for whatever reason, they need to have ERK. Okay, ERK is the center of the universe. Okay, each one of these things, the easiest way to describe it, ERK is the sun. Each one of these projects, IEOs, and the ones that are already up, they are planets. Okay, for the planets to survive and thrive, they need the sun. Okay, the sun gives the power, the sun gives the energy, and ERK is in the middle. Okay, ERK is the sun. So what I'm saying is the best way for us to actually promote ERK is by supporting and building around it. Okay, these around it are what give ERK its utility purpose. These around it, all of these projects, successful projects of which we'll be running, ERK, the Polaris has shares in them. Therefore, that supports the buyback model, which supports obviously even stronger, we know, price movements as well because of decreasing supply. Okay, for attention, for people seeing it, for people seeing of ERK, by building around here, it sends people into Eureka X, which is part of that sun with ERK. So from all of these different directions, guys, instead of focusing just solely on this one thing in the middle as a team of a few people, or not a few people, but you know what I mean, a few more than a few more people, yeah. We build this big network of which around it. Now this one is, it's supporting itself, it's its own business, but at the same time, it's all part of this big outer ecosystem. The social media, social token, the social media platforms, they're advertising, people are buying advertising, big community doing its thing. But at the same time, it's also helping the ERK because people are going to come across, people are going to see, people are going to be joining that, they'll see advertisements. Obviously, we can advertise the exchange and everything else in there. We have a version, a free ads website, or free ads, but obviously you pay to upgrade in there, similar to Friday ads or Gumtree or some a lot along those lines. Same nature, guys. You have banner advertisements and things in there. Okay, the DeFi project, in the DeFi project, there will be banners and things of which will be advertising social token. It will be advertising the Gumtree version gamers token, guys. Okay, so gaming one. The gaming one is a tournament website for gamers. Okay, so pretty technically switched from people generally. Sometimes even I'm going to say it a little bit geeky. Yeah, they coming across again advertising on that website. Okay, each one of them is building big communities in their own respect. Each one of them is a fully functioning day-to-day normal business, absolutely fine, kicking it off as they are. Okay, positive cash flow from day one, remember. All right, and in the middle of all of this solar system, let's say, or universe, is ERK. All right, in order to send social token to somebody, in order to make a purchase with social token, in order to be able to use gamer token, in order to be able to take a collateral loan, in order to be able to move anything here, there, or anywhere, you're going to need ERK. 30,000 here. Okay, we're looking at 12 projects as a start for the IEOs. Okay, 12 projects, 30,000 people in each project, yes, and I'm going to say 30,000 unique people in each project because I know that some people will be in more than one. Guys, that's 350,000 people of which need ERK to move it around. Okay, it's only going to grow and grow and grow and grow from there as well. At the same time, driving all of those people in, the work that is being done now is going to help projects further along the line as well. The advertising for these projects that's being done is going to help further along the line as well. Okay, because right now the community is quite small, guys. Right, in my opinion, it's quite small. We're going to grow, paid ads, bring more and more people onto the exchange, more and more people onto the exchange. One IEO finishes. Okay, when that IEO finishes, it's on to the next IEO, another one of which is there and waiting to come on. That IEO comes on, it's starting on a platform that's already got a much, much, much bigger community, a community that is constantly growing and growing and growing and growing. Okay, on that basis, the exchange will be huge. I can tell you the design of the exchange is kick-ass. It's going to have your smaller time charts. It's got depth charts in there for all the pairs as well. It's got your market price features that I know people have asked for. KYC, we're reducing KYC so that you don't actually have to have it unless you want to trade more than, also withdraw more than $3,000 in any one day. Yeah, it's right, that question I'm going to come back to and answer in a second. Yeah, so overall, right, all of these different aspects, driving. The exchange builds, and to the point, like I said, in terms of competition, guys, we don't charge for people to come to us for IEOs. It's beneficial for us anyway. Okay, let's be honest, we benefit from the marketing. We benefit because at the end it's a token that goes on our blockchain. We benefit because generally as a development company we take shares in it, or we have a fixed fee price to at the end of what they raise. So we don't need to charge them to come to us. The closest competitor in really that's doing something of the nature that has the community like what we're striving towards is probably Binance. Now, Binance, the last from research, the last I actually heard available is that it was $2.5 million to actually start an IEO. That's before you've even actually taken anything in. Okay, so our pressure points in being able to pierce through and have people come to us in that nature is quite high as well. Okay, do I think we can build a community the size of Binance? Yes, I do. Okay, why? Because we have that structure in place. It will only be constantly growing and growing and growing. The design is there. Moving forward a little bit, the copy bots. The copy bots are something that I think they're not unique. Other people do have them. Okay, I think that they are something though that will keep people at the exchange. Once they've signed up, once they see, lots and lots and lots of people in this industry, okay, and the whole crypto enthusiasts don't really know where to start with trading, right? This allows them to earn from the expertise of others, okay? You will be able to see their track record. I saw that somebody did say somewhere, how far in the track record can we go? Well, from the point of the platform starting, from the point of that trader starting, it will track their track record. Okay, so if people want to wait a month or 2 months, whatever, for a particular trader's track record to start to show whatever, then that's fine. We cannot show them a track record from somewhere else because at the end of the day, we can't verify. But from the point of them starting to trade, all of that history will be there, will be there, will be there. This is a way for people, obviously, on our exchange now. We have the IEO startups that are rolling through. We have, obviously, liquidity. We're plugged into Binance, so we never have a problem with liquidity. We will have the bots there as well, so that the bots will automatically be giving people that option to be able to trade without trading. It means that the exchange, obviously, I'm not going to lie, guys, the exchange will make a lot of money from the fees, mainly the exchange fees in it. It will give it the massive volume boost that it needs to become towards being a big contender, listing on CoinMarketCap, all of those types of things. Then on top of that, leverage trading obviously is coming into play as well, which we know has a big effect on volume. So with all of those different parts of the aspect together, you also have exchange listings. Okay, so one of the biggest ways that exchanges make money, guys, is in the listing fee. Our listing fee, we want to set it for when we get going, when the community is growing. The listing fee will remain about $20,000 to $25,000. Okay. Of $20,000 to $25,000, okay, is the listing fee, which, to be honest, for a decent exchange with a decent community, is actually incredibly low. But it also, for us, we will have a lot of projects coming and wanting to get listed, because we will have that real volume, we will have that good nature in there as well, and we will be able to offer a lot of value to projects. Let me come through, and so yeah, as I'm going to shut up for a minute, right? I want just you guys, right, tell me based on what I just said. Let me know what your thoughts of that are while I start going through these questions. Let me know what your thoughts on the strategy are, and where kind of your overall thinking to it. And be honest. With all the different projects, will there be a main funnel to bring people in that gives the overall vision and features of the platform? Yes. One of the IEOs might be specifically actually something to do with funnels and email marketing plugin and that type of thing. But we'll have to see about that. I can't say too much about that at the aspect. But yes, there will be funnels of which will be able to drive traffic to, of which will market the IEO part of the exchange as startups. Basically, a good place to get in at ground floor level of startups, of which basically is probably the easiest way to cover all of them in one. Will you ever have one website, say Polaris.com, which has details of all your different coins? Probably not. Actually, I say that. At some point, yes. Remember that they're not actually mine. They're not ours. They're not our companies. We develop the token. Right, so basically, we build the token. You know, someone needs to build it. We build the token. we support the project. We may build aspects of the project. We may build the websites behind it for them. But it's not actually our token, right? First and foremost, it's decentralized. Secondly, each one actually has a founding team of which it is theirs. However, will we have a website of which has all of the different companies that we hold shares in as part of our portfolio? Yes, that we will do. And people will be able to go through, and obviously for those that have a coin or a token that is relevant to them, that will obviously be in there along with the details and that as well. But yeah, we have quite a lot. This week alone, guys, I think probably leave it till after the weekend now, but Monday, social token definitely going live. Gamer token, a couple of days after that. Day after that, Ethereum is going live on the exchange. Okay, so it's coming off of its own website and it's going to go on and have an IO on the exchange. I know that Armin's obviously sorting that from this side. Then we have the Gumtree version 1 coming through. Then there's a couple more as well that we have ready that will be coming through in the next week. Okay, so in total, I think there'll be 7 or 8 projects already that we have lined up that will be running within the next probably 10 days. Maybe 14 days, maybe 10. We'll see how quickly we can go. But yeah, 14 days. And then on top of that as well, we are still getting people come to us quite a lot with various different ideas. So guys, if you do have any ideas, come and let us know your ideas, and we'll be more than happy to put them into practice. What we do if IPX or any of the IEOs aren't selling out after months, okay, guys, I'm going to be extremely honest on this point, okay? If they do not sell out after a month or two, okay, I am not panicking, right? As the market is going, it's driving up, it's building the community, right? From experience, there is a certain level of community and a certain level of capital, and there is a certain level of cash flow that a crypto project needs to be successful, right? There is a certain level that the business behind it needs to be successful. It needs to be able to pay to get listed up onto those big exchanges. It needs to be able to have that big paid marketing, both on the actual project in itself and on the business of which is generally behind it. Okay, it needs to do that. Now, do I think that it's going to have major problems where it's never going to be able to sell out? No. Okay, remember, the bigger that it gets, the more marketing that there is for it. And remember that as well, the pricing now, I mean, now I think we're at 0.0014. The ending one is 0.7, you know, so even from where it is now, that's a 500x that it's going on to the exchanges for. Believe me when I say as well, because of the exchanges that it's going on straight away, and the path that it has with that positive cash flow that it will have, I do not see them. I see them having a very good rally on exchanges as opposed to the opposite. Okay, the whole structure has been put into place based on experience. The whole structure has been put into place based on knowing what they need as well. They need to have that liquidity. They need to have that volume. Okay, going across, going on to KuCoin. KuCoin's a decent exchange. Going on to OKX within a matter of a few weeks. That's massive, right? Already going on to HitBTC. Okay, decent. Going on to Bittrex, decent exchange. Okay. that is what it needs to be successful. Okay, there is no starting below that. Okay, I can tell you from my own experience with BRK guys, okay, it can be a struggle in that aspect. Fast forward and fast tracking it into those other businesses, yes, right, that will propel them massively. Yeah, remember, obviously for Polaris as well, our core structure, our core one of our core strengths is our development as well. Projects are able to come to us, even if somebody just has an idea, they are able to come to us, and we can make that a reality. We can do the development. We have the IO platform, obviously, where they will be able to have an IO to raise capital. We're able to offer them the internal trading, or the trading internally within the company. So we are able to offer them the trading within their internally in their company, for their company, where they will be able to have positive cash flow for marketing and everything else that's needed. The exchange listings, all of that, it all builds into a pot as well for boom, bang, 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 bang. That's how it needs to be. All of the crypto news, everything being covered with it, right? That's what it needs. We are not going through all of these projects to try and get projects that are going to be able to slowly grow, or to, the market has demands as participants, as market, and this is, I would say, is obviously a big thing for appreciation. The market has demands, the holders have demands, the holders want it on big platforms, the exchange, they want it on the big exchanges, they want to see it rocking and rolling on that thing. The way it does that, guys, is by having the successful IEO. Okay, so am I worried if it's not sold out after a few months? Absolutely not. There's a number of things that we have done that will, I would say, probably prevent it from going on for too long. But absolutely not. If it aren't sold out after a few months, no, it is of no concern at all. I can say that actually on the Chinese side as well, the Chinese strategy, I know, obviously we've discussed it before, they do use the Impulse X passive system as an easy gateway for building the community and bringing people through. On that, they are actually going to be focusing on the IEOs, and they are also going to be focusing on using the passive system for in, and the IEOs for out, as I'm sure that many of you have seen Mark's post. Mark set the post for people to use, to be able to obviously deposit in whatever, but to be able to withdraw through. And the reason that they did that is because obviously on an average basis of 2.5%, those tokens can easily 5x, 10x when they come through on the other side of the IEO. From where they are now, so I rephrase that, they can easily 5x from the ending price of the IEO. If you look at the IEO, you will notice that the ending price of them all is still, the very last stage is still incredibly cheap. You're not going to find a DeFi project that's got all of this for that. You're not going to find a platform that's got social media platform, positive cash flow plus loads of capital for that. Okay, it is not going to happen, especially when there's buyback and burn model in there at all. It is not going to happen. It's done on purpose, so it is still appealing, so that when it goes on the markets, it is already appealing in that nature. Okay, but it still allows to raise enough capital, right? It's not trying to raise 8, 9, 10, 15, 50, 500 million, right? It's trying to raise a sensible amount, which it needs to be able to propel forwards. Yeah, so that's basically it to answer that question. Is the community big enough to raise all capital for IEOs at this current time? Of course not. Of course not. But the whole point of it as well is with the marketing structure, like what I just said, it builds that community. So so that as the IEOs are growing, the community is growing parallel alongside that as well. Remember, one of the main core things as well is it being in the center. So you have, for example, social token has social tokens advertising. Somebody comes through from that advertising, they look, they think that's fantastic, they come, they buy social token. They are obviously enthusiasts that buy into startup, that buy into token sales, etc., etc. Therefore, they will buy into the other side as well. So, not necessarily. No, I'll rephrase that. Not that they will. There is a good probability, and we have seen from past results, we say that people will buy into the other ones as well. So somebody comes in, they see social token, that's what they come for. They buy some of that. They see IPX, DeFi, they see Gamer, they see Gumtree, they see, they see all of these different things, and they can come through and use that as well. What marketing techniques do you plan to employ to increase the community? Where do you plan to advertise? Twitter, YouTube, influencers. All right, to increase the community, yeah. So we have a number of partnerships already in place anyway with quite a lot of the crypto news companies, let's say. So that's basically companies that already have contacts with all of the major crypto news anyway, and they're able to roll out articles across them very, very quickly in bulk, and generally for discount. So that will be a large part, covering all of the major ones as well: Bitcoin.com, Bitcoin Talk, Cointelegraph, etc., etc., etc. Social media, YouTube advertising, Twitter advertising, YouTube influencers. It is a service that quite a lot of our marketing partners, shall we say, that they do offer. It's something that we will try. They do have quite good results, but not any Tom, Dick, or Harry off of YouTube that's out there promoting and charging $2,000 to say something good. What you get with that is generally something completely fake. The ones from the marketers, yeah, they will generally try and have more of a positive thing, but a lot of it is AMAs. And in general, they will ask you the questions as well publicly in front of their whole audience. They will ask you the questions. If there's a negative, they will ask you about it, which personally I quite like about it, because that keeps it real. A lot of the YouTube influencers and things, yeah, if you're going to pay them, yeah, they're going to go and say that the project's fantastic. Are people really, really going to follow that person so much? No. Basically, knowing that person is being paid to say, it takes away masses of the influence, really. Where are we up to? I'm late. Yeah, I'm late. So sorry if this has already been discussed, but regarding copy trading, how are you going to avoid a mass of people moving the price too fast by copying a trader that buys a less liquid coin? They won't be able to. There will be requirements for a coin or token to be able to be involved in the copy trading. For example, ERK right at this stage, it would not be available. And I use that as probably the fairest one to say. It will need to have I don't know specifically what figure yet, but it will need to have a considerably high level of liquidity where basically it wouldn't touch the sites. So we're talking about probably the top 50 from Binance, maybe even stretch as far as perhaps the top 50 to the top 75. We will be listing a lot more of the things that are listed on Binance as well and taking liquidity from. okay, say the IEO of IPX takes 3 to 4 months, will the defo mechanics of the platform be? Yeah, absolutely. If it goes fast, then yes, absolutely. The mechanics, mechanics. The technical aspects behind the scenes, all of the different aspects for DeFi, IPX will be up and running. The dApps, basically, if it raised that much that quickly, then I would be able to put considerably more developers on it. Therefore, it would be able to be finished. It could be finished in a week with enough resources. Let's put it that way. Is the target of $3 for ERK for this year still on, or like Feb target, is it now not possible? I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously February's target isn't that it's not possible, it's just that it's, yeah, things are taking a bit longer, a lot of the development work. Not to say that we had this full plan and everything, because we didn't. But parts of it we did have when we had started setting the goals, and we were very, very comfortable in getting things done in time. During that, though, obviously there's been a few bumps in the road, and it's taken a little bit longer. We are a little bit behind, so to speak, on a roadmap, which is very strange for us to say, really, given the track history with that. But yeah, it's taking a little bit longer. Target of $3 for ERK for this year. You know what? If the IEOs go well, well, the IEOs commonly not go well, so to speak, but depending on the speed and progression of the IEOs, depending on the take up of the marketing efforts going through, people using the bots, the liquidity, the volume on the exchange, how the other companies and businesses do. You know, I'm not fixated on a particular price, you know, by such and so forth, when I'm fixated on building the community, and I'm fixated on building all of those different projects and aspects around, like what we're saying. Do I think that that's possible? Yeah. Like I said, if everything goes well, we could far proceed that. If things don't go so well, maybe not. Yeah, but that's the nature of the game, so to speak. But yes, I think that with the business model and with the structure and everything that we have, with the marketing campaign and everything, all along those lines, I think that we have every chance in getting there and beyond. But I'm not going to commit to any price thing or anything like that, because it gets taken as promises. It gets taken as it can be misleading for users, because they fixate to that price, and I'm not saying it's going to be here there. I want for us as a team, we've had a good talk internally as well. For us, we want to develop the businesses around. We want to develop the community. We want to develop our own project, as in like the actual exchange and different things. We want to let the actions speak for themselves, so to speak. When will we start getting regular updates with all Eureka are doing? That is part of it is something that will be plugged in along with the design. Okay, so there will be features of emails and things like that. Also, something else that we are considering is an autoresponder system. Whether or not that's plugged into the exchange, or whether it's something that will come run alongside it, we will have to have a look. But basically something that will be able to send out emails and bits and pieces for when people are promoting the IEOs, the trade bots, etc., etc. The trade bots basically is becoming a bit of a trend in the industry as well. So it's something that would be really, really, really effective to have. Unfortunately, most of the companies that do the copy trade bots Most of the figures are artificial. Most of them don't actually have their own exchange, for example, and which really allows for the figures to be made artificial. And unfortunately, what you see isn't quite what you get. The only reason why you gave 0.25 was a break even for the people involved in MPT. Not really. I've always openly discussed that at 16 cents because of my Eureka Club. That was the only number people remembered. Yeah, it is. But I've always obviously explained 16 cents. Hopefully we will see that number increase. Yeah, to be honest, it's a short-term thing. The thing is obviously the way of which that we're driving with ERK is for it being on the premises of the utility aspect as well. As soon as it starts to pick pace, I think it will fly past, quite literally. As soon as it starts to get that momentum coming from all of the different things around it, I don't even think that 25 cents, 50 cents along that path, I think it's going to be a quick move. Okay, as much as obviously I say that I want it to be sustainable, moving up, and that I want it to be stable, I do. Believe me, that is what I want. But I think that it's going to have its boom moments, and I think that it is going to have sharp moves up where it is actually sustainable. Okay, where it would get to what I call it, where it would start moving in the direction towards what I would call its true value. Okay, and really for it to reach its true value, it is missing two things. That is more usage on the blockchain and the community, which is exactly what the IEOs are there to cover from our side as a company perspective. But I can also tell you though, for the founders and everything of all of those projects, absolutely. Yeah, for the founders of all of the projects, they love it. Okay, the actual concept of being able to be able to have the IO on a platform where they are in the central body, where it is diverting lots and lots of traffic of community users specifically to there for them to advertise in front of. It's basically like them being listed in a marketplace. So yeah, it's very, very, very strong in its nature there. So 16 cents would be break even for MPT holders. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it all depends. Obviously, it's completely different for everybody in answer to that question. Lots of people already made considerably more than they took out. Lots of people grew their accounts considerably more as well. It all depends on obviously what you're classing as break even and what you're classing or not. But first and foremost, obviously the most important thing is that you bought product in that system as well, and that actually it is only through goodwill that people are able to actually have something in ERK of which will propel them to be able to, at least that is our target and our goal of what we strive so hard towards, to be able to actually earn even considerably more in the longer term as a gesture of goodwill. Okay. Is ERK Android is decentralized? Yeah, absolutely. Why aren't the Chinese buying ERK and moving the price up? Like I said before, at the minute they are focusing on building the community, okay, and on building the community, I mean setting up nodes throughout the country. They are in the process of leaders joining. They don't want to make a move of which they're not going to be able to hold. Okay, when they do come in, when they do start, they want to start knowing that they're going to be able to reach towards reaching their goals. Having said that as well, though, yes, they are going to be putting quite a lot of focus into the IEOs because they understand as well. They teach people, obviously, for buying and for holding ERK, but primarily they do understand as well that the best way for us to actually grow ERK is by building around it. The marketing brings people in. The first thing really that they're going to see when they come through as well, not really the first thing, probably the second thing. First thing they're going to see is a project that they've been offered they're with. Then obviously they're going to see, it's like all of the projects are children, and ERK is essentially sat there as the parent, they're going to see ERK, eyes in the exchange, buying IEOs, buying IEOs means more company share profits, obviously further along the line. Buying copy trading, more profits. Using copy trading, more volume. Exchange generally with more community users and more people using it, more profit. Leverage, more profit. You see all of these different aspects in it coming through. Really, to be able to help one project whilst successfully building another in that strategy, I think it would be very effective. How many projects have reached out to get their IEO done, which has come externally? How many projects have reached out to get their IEO? Quite a lot, but unfortunately, quite a lot. To put a name number on the exact amount, gamer token obviously is external. That's one that actually got through. Quite a few. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I would say probably 6 or 7 already. Unfortunately, lots of them are wanting to do like these smart contract gifting things, let's say, which we do not wish to obviously have any involvement in. And I certainly wouldn't be holding an IEO on the exchange for one. But each to their own, I guess. But from our perspective, definitely not. From them, quite a few. A couple of MLM ideas, which for like product-based MLMs, they would like to do so. They're cool. Couple of others that are a bit more corporate. It's a matter of weighing them up. Remember, we have 12, maybe would be able to stretch to 15 at the most, I think. Slots, we want to fill in with actual decent projects. You don't want to just approve anything, but if people have good ideas and they come forward, to be honest with you as well, I would actually quite prefer people inside the community than outside of the community. Main reason being, like, people think obviously external. Remember, at the minute, guys, our community is very small in comparison to what it's going to be. So basically, everybody inside the community now is more like a founder than anything else. Outside of the community is a constant. Everybody outside of the community now is near enough everybody. And that's who's obviously going to be being drawn in through all of that paid marketing and all the different campaigns, etc. That's who's going to be brought to Eureka X and into the ecosystem. So I think that's, but also, like I said, social token, for example, social media platforms, that will appear to your next door neighbor that don't even know what crypto is, has no idea what crypto is, and the way that it works in there as well is, I'd say, very clever, but he doesn't even need to know what crypto is. He never even needs to touch the crypto. He never needs to touch the token, but it will work incredibly powerful. And actually, he's using the token without even needing to use the token. The white paper obviously will be released when you see it, do so, but it's a really, really good way as well of taking crypto in a utility purpose to the market without expecting the market to know what the hell it is or how to use it. But yeah, your next door neighbor, be interested in that because he wants the Gumtree one. Your next door neighbor wants to sell his fish. You go along to the Gumtree one, you go and place his ad, you know, you place his ad, you pay his few dollars to have his to boost his ad. He'll share that ad across the other social media platforms, including obviously the ones of Social Token. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. All of that growth and all of those advertisements pumping out to them all as well. Now we're at ground floor. The only way up from here is up. Well, the only way from here is up, should I say. But it's been a hell of a lot of work put in to be in this position. Yeah, and I, for one, I'm sure as well looking forward to the ride. Right, any last questions? If you have any last questions, then now is the time to be the time to ask them. Ask whatever you want. No question is a stupid question, and you know, you should probably know me well enough by now to know that I'll quite happily answer anything that you've got to ask me. Will the exchange work smoothly? Yes. Absolutely. There's a hell of a lot of work that's needed to go into learning how to make an exchange run smoothly, learning what are the pressure points in the exchange, learning where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are. But yeah, to answer the question, yeah, it will. Currently, there are many times that the exchange brings up bugs or errors. In terms of actually its usage, no, there's not. It's actually very, very small. It just appears to be quite a lot. Yes, at the minute, yeah, I would say in general, the performance of it is actually okay. Over the last week or two, yes, we've been implementing lots and lots and lots into it. Yes, there's been lots and lots and lots of it to it. So yeah, it is. But no, in general, I don't think. In general, it will run very, very smoothly. Over the last week or two, sorry, I was reading one of the further questions as well. I'm thinking of something. One of the further things as well is that, yes, it is something of which that we need to ensure as the community grows. There's a lot of extra coding that has been put into place and a lot of extra parameters to actually be able to have that growth. Well, we are now starting our development of growth, not for where we expect to be by that stage, but for where we expect to be afterwards, so to speak. So we always make sure that we stay one step ahead, basically, with that. But yeah, over obviously the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot implemented into it. The IEO is obviously adding, but also there's a lot of work going on in the background. Possible to get a sneak peek of the new mock-up design. It's possible. It's possible. Right, if you bear with me a minute. Guys, ask any last questions that you've got, because I will be sending this. Perhaps we will be able to have a quick look. if I okay, bear with me for 2 minutes just while that is loading, and once it has, I will be able to hopefully, if it does load, I'll be able to give you a sneak peek. Obviously, the sneak peek that I'm giving you is not actually of the website or of the direct mock-up of ourselves. It's just one that I know that we've taken to use as a mock-up. Basically, what we've done, basically what we've done is that we've taken the exchange design of which it was in HTML, and now programmers are now putting it into Angular. An exchange with a HTML, the difference basically being that Eureka X isn't a $50, $500 built exchange. It's all, the front end is all in Angular, which is a much faster and better performer. I'm just looking through here because I see some. How will the continuing buyback and burn proceed from here? Yeah, it will just proceed. It will just continue for as long as it basically is going to continue to pick up the bottom of the market. That's the idea, obviously, with buyback and burn, is to get the most out of it, to get the most out of circulation, and to be sent to the burn wallet. So as that bottom of the market, the bottom will constantly essentially grow. As it does, we will just keep hitting at the bottom, at the bottom, at the bottom, so that we're not going to do it all in one go, because it's not beneficial. Yeah, you can hit a good price fast and it looks really good for a matter of minutes before it comes back down. So okay, I'm just trying to load up the thing. Ask any last questions, like I did say, guys, okay, because on showing this, I will definitely be finishing. Okay. Okay, so you should now be able to see my screen. Okay, so this is inside the basic. With this, I don't have the ability to jump across to the daylight thing, which I do prefer. But this is just an idea of the inside of what the actual trade page will look like. Obviously, you've got your price, your size, your charts of all different kinds. You'd have your trade history, the information for all of the pairs where you'd be able to select them, your order book over on this side too. You'll have your depth charts that will be constantly running, your portfolio, of which obviously oversees all of your total balance. Market news, right? So this will be like a little news thing that we will have running from the inside, of which where we will be constantly running through and giving updates based on not only ourselves, but from some of like the news channels and things like that, that will be plugged into them as well. So it'll be constantly giving information. Your position, obviously this is in the leverage side as well. So like I said, the leverage side will be slightly different to the actual core. This will be running through Binance too. Open positions, you'll be able to see active orders, fills, blah, 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 blah. All of the usual that you need to do, obviously liquidation. Inside for the quick swaps, accounts, data, settings, the usual. Okay, the main part of which that we're taking is from this page, the exchange, where I just showed you. It's going on a super go slow, but this is just to be used as the core trading page. As you can see, it's incredibly simple to use and easy, user friendly. That's the idea. Different types of trades as well. Obviously, you've got fill or kill, immediate or cancel, good till cancelled. So good till cancelled basically is where you leave it until you actually cancel it. Fill or kill, immediate or cancel. Also, there will be market, the ability to buy at market price as well. It's hard to really show it based on this because with everything that we actually have, the IEOs and everything as well, but this page will be able to be in daylight and nighttime mode, as well as many other bonuses within it as well. Yeah, and for any smart aleck that comes along and sees this and that sees, guys, like I said, we're only using this as, we've only used this to create our mock version of which is going to be put live, okay, or our mock version that we put into the final version. This is just some cheap HTML version, to be honest. HTML is, to be honest, from a marketing perspective, I shouldn't have shown you this, but I want you to actually get the idea. But Angular looked much better, but this obviously more, what I'm showing you now is more the layout of everything and the structuring of everything as to what is actually going to be there, what's going to be available, and how easy and straightforward it's going to be, basically. But like I said, that's just a trade page. Was Fuzzy Wuzzy a woman? Honest answer, I don't actually know. I mean, currently there are many times the exchange brings up, okay, yeah, we've done that one. Possible to get a sneak peek, yep, done that. You wrote that you will try to hold a certain price, but it has gone back to very low. Yeah, guys, and not looking in real short term. Yes, we want to get all of the bits and pieces of the engine basically in and all running. So that's the IEOs first. And yeah, then obviously we will start creeping up as per the business marketing model as well. Short term, it's not of a concern. When will the betting site be ready? The betting site will be ready soon. Okay. First of all, really, and if anybody wants to, ideally, I'd like to have a founding team actually for the betting site. So if it's something that would be of interest to you, then do come through. Because, and if I'm honest, right now, obviously from a development perspective, we're here, there, we're here, there, we're here, there, we're here, there. And overseeing everything, it'd be good to actually have a team to oversee and run that. That's basically what we need for that now. When we do have that, that's when it be able to get ready. Technically, it's not far away. Be good to have an IO for it, raise some capital, which we're able to use for marketing it and getting it out there. But yeah, main thing for that now is I'd like to have a founding team to actually be able to run that. If you're interested, obviously it means you can become a director of it. It also means you become a shareholder in it. It's basically a business ready to go if you are interested. Will all the Eureka trade history be imported in the new site? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so none of the database is actually changing. We're not actually changing the site. We are only changing the design. Okay, all of the core coding and everything is all going to remain as it is. Right, I think that's all. Right, guys, thank you for everything. We've covered absolute tons. I hope this has been really, really useful for you all. It's been a pleasure as always. Yeah, I'll allow you to I'll allow you to go and share your thoughts and everything. Like I said, this is recorded as well, so everybody will be able to get plugged into this and see exactly sort of what's going on. That's it for me. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'm sure that I'll see you all very soon in the room. All right, goodbye for now. To answer your question very quickly, ratio that CBT to social token will be swapped. Off the top of my head, I'm not actually sure, but it will be in line with the circulation of the total supply ratio of social token to CBT. Obviously, CBT had a massive total supply, so it will be in ratio to that. All right, everybody have a fantastic day, and I look forward to catching you all on the other side. Goodbye for now.